Hello. So we are looking about the inter-process communication and synchronization tools. So one of the important of them is the semaphore. So in this, we'll basically see about what semaphore is. In short, a semaphore is like a kernel object. It is not like it's an kernel object of an operating system that is used for both resource as well as the task synchronization. So, in short, it is like a key to enter a house. And the thing, like, the person who has the key can only enter into the house. Like, if the door is locked, and whoever is having the key can just open that and go to the house. So, semaphore works on the same principle. So, if multiple tasks are running, and if they want to use some common resource or we need their synchronization, then the kernel has to give the semaphore to only one task, and only that task will be allowed to use that resource. So in the further slides we'll see through an example how semaphore is used for the synchronization. So just take a simple example. There are like person like Harry and John, and both of them want to enter into a room. However, the condition is only one person can be in a room at a time. So Harry requests for the access of room. Uh, so as at the same time, let's say the John also accept request. However, the access is given to Harry. So Harry now enters into the room. So and when he is inside, let's say again John requests the access. However, as Harry is inside, the John cannot enter into the room. So as and when the Harry come out of the room becomes vacant, and so John is waiting for the access, and as and when it becomes vacant, the John enters into the room, and then John completes the operation. So this is what exactly happens when we are using the semaphore. When like multiple tasks want to use a common resource, only one will be given access, and the access to the next one will be given after completion of the task by the first. So there are basically two types of semaphore: binary semaphore and a counting semaphore. So binary semaphore is the one that takes value either 0 and 1, and counting semaphore is the one that take a value from 0 to n. So n being the some positive integer. Uh, in binary semaphore, when the value of the semaphore is 1, it is indicated as it is available, and that can be used by any task. And when the value is 0, it is not available for the any task. That means it is already in use. Similarly, is the counting semaphore. The value is from 1 to n. So any positive value will indicate it's available, or that many keys are available, kind of thing. And when it is 0, it is not available. So what happens when a semaphore is acquired or released by some task? So when a task acquires the semaphore, so a semaphore can be acquired only when its value is 1. So when any task acquires the semaphore value is decremented by 1. So after acquiring, the value becomes 0 so that it will be unavailable for the other task. And when the semaphore is released by the any task, it is the value of the semaphore is incremented by 1, and it is made available for the other task to use. So this is an important thing. When it semaphore is acquired, the value is decremented by 1, so it becomes 0, and when it is released, it is incremented by 1. So let's take an example for a binary semaphore. Let's say there are two tasks want to access a common display, and semaphore is initialized with a value to 1. That means semaphore is available. So there are two tasks and both of them want to send some data to display. So what happens is, first the task 1 acquires the semaphore. So on acquiring, the semaphore value becomes 0. So on successful acquiring the semaphore, the task 1 uses that display, and on completion of that, it releases that semaphore. Task 1 releases that semaphore. So on releasing the semaphore value becomes again 1. So semaphore value is 1 means it is available for the other task. So then again task 2 acquires the semaphore. As the value is 1, it is available for the task to be used. So task 2 acquires that. So on acquiring this, the semaphore value again becomes 0. So on successful acquisition, the task 2 uses the display, it completes the operation, and after completion it releases the semaphore back to the source. And on releasing the semaphore, its value is again incremented by 1. So it is again available so that if any task want to use, it can be used. So this is how the synchronization is done using semaphore. Here two tasks we are synchronizing them. So first task 1 will run, and so when task 1 is using display, task 2 will go into the ready queue. It will wait for the availability of semaphore and then it will complete. So both of them will start execution parallelly. However, the actual execution will happen like sequentially. Uh, Now take the example for a counting semaphore. Counting semaphore, let's take five buffers are available, and buffer need to be shared by, there are multiple tasks running and there are five buffers, so five memory location, and those will be used by the different tasks. So all of these tasks we would like to use this buffer to store there some temporary data. So how this will be achieved with the counting semaphore? So counting semaphore, let's say it is now initialized to 5. So because there are 5 buffers, the semaphore is initialized to the 5. Let's take this example. First task 1 tries to access the buffer. So the semaphore value is decremented by 1 and buffer 1 is allocated. Then task 5 tries to acquire, so the semaphore value is again decremented and buffer 2 is allocated to task 5. Then task 2 tries to access the buffer, so semaphore value is again decremented by 1 and buffer 3 is allocated to it. So after this, let's say task 1 completes the operation and it releases the semaphore. So the semaphore value is incremented by 1 and buffer 1 is made free now. Then task 10 tries to access the buffer. So again the value is decremented by 1 and buffer 1 is allocated to it. Then task 3 tries to access the buffer. So again value is decremented by 1 and buffer 4 is allocated here. Then task 1 tries to access the buffer. So value is again decremented by 1 and buffer 5 is allocated. So after this again task 4 tries to access the buffer. However, the semaphore value is 0. That means the semaphores are not available. Out of all 5, not a single semaphore is available, and so cannot access any buffer. See, all buffers are now in used. So it is indicated by value 0 of the semaphore. So that will not give any access to the task 4 which is newly coming. So unless and until one of these completes the operation, it will release the semaphore, so this value will be incremented by 1, and then only task 4 can access the buffer. So this is the simple working of the counting semaphore. So when we write a code, there are different functions, like for creating a semaphore, deleting a semaphore, acquiring a semaphore, releasing a semaphore, and waiting for the availability of semaphore. So we'll take a simple example for the POSIX thread. Uh, in so we need to include semaphore.h file. So two threads are being created, and so a semaphore object is created, same underscore t. This is the type, and same is the object that has been created to be used as a semaphore. So this thread 1 is displaying hello POSIX thread 1 line 1, hello POSIX thread 1 line 2, and the task of the operation being happen in thread 2 is hello POSIX thread 2. These are just line being printed. However, we want here first these two lines to be printed and then this should print. We want these two operations happen synchronous in sequential manner. If we do not write this, so here I have written same post, here it is written same wait. So same post will make the semaphore available to be used by this task, and same wait, it will wait for the semaphore to be available. So both of these tasks start running parallelly. However, this task will start execution only when it will get the access. So same post, it will make the semaphore value available as 1, and so that value 1 will be taken by this, it will exit. Without this semaphore, we may get output like hello POSIX thread 1 line 1, then chance may be given to this hello POSIX thread 2, and then chance may be given to this for execution of this line. So first this will execute this and this. However, due to use of semaphore, the things are synchronized, and so first these two lines will be displayed and then this, because here we are waiting for the availability of semaphore, which will be made available only after execution of these two lines. And in my main I have just initialized the semaphore with a value 0. So this is same init function. So the object that I have created, the initial value of the semaphore, and then simply created two threads. So sample output I'll get is hello POSIX thread 1 line 1, then line 2, and then hello POSIX thread 2. Uh, Here again the similar example with LPC 2129 and a FreeRTOS ported there. So two tasks are being created. One task is displaying hi onto serial window, and another is displaying SIT on the serial window. The similar thing happen. Uh, the functions are different here, just so I am including say semPHR.h. The same bsame is the semaphore handle that is being created. Here the functions are semaphore, take, and give. Take is equivalent to the wait in the Linux, and give is equivalent to the post. So I am here waiting for the availability of semaphore. Then I'll send hi, and then I am just releasing the semaphore. Here I am waiting for acquiring a semaphore, sending SIT, and then releasing a semaphore. And then the same code is written for transmitting a data over the UART. V semaphore create binary is the function which is used to create a semaphore. So the earlier example was for the resource synchronization. Now this is for the task synchronization. We are synchronizing the task. Task 1 will read the ADC value, and task 2 will be used to display the digital value onto the LED. So here the semaphore is created same. A global variable created is int s. Semaphore is created with v semaphore create binary, and tasks are created. Let's look into the threads. So F1 is reading the value from the ADC. So ADC value is being stored into S. So as and when it is stored, the semaphore is released, and the first line in the another thread is the semaphore text. So it is waiting for the availability of semaphore. So unless and until it is released by F1, it cannot be further taken by F2. So as and when it is released, it will be taken by the F2, and then these lines will be executed. So that's it for the semaphore. Thank you.